Welcome to Ignite Sports. I'm Sean Marranca.
And I'm Sam McFadden.
It was a great season for the men's volleyball team last year, with Coach Matt Schnarr taking them to provincial championships. But this year he has his eyes set on a bigger prize.
Ignite Sports reporter Joshua Cooper caught up with a couple veteran players and the coach to take a look at this upcoming season.
Thanks. Would you tell me how you first got involved with volleyball?
Yeah, I played volleyball in middle school, played in high school. When I came to Mohawk as a student, I made the varsity team and played for 4 years while I was in college, and then I took over as coach when I was finished.
How did you first become the chairman of this? You were on the students' athletics committee?
Yes.
How did you get involved with the students' athletics?
When I was a student, after my first year, I actually did one of my placement opportunities in athletics, and then I found out about the SAC, the Students' Athletics Committees, and just joined it. So I was on the committee for 3 years, and then I was doing that for 3 years, and then when I was done school, I started working in the athletics department.
How would you say you have grown from your time when you first got here to now as a coach?
I guess when I first started coaching, I was really an emotional coach, and I've just learned how to hone those emotions and how to use them in the appropriate places with my athletes and with everything else involved in the matches. So I've grown in that area, and just from learning the game more and more as the game evolves, your coaching style has to evolve, and every year trying to learn something new and really work on what our strengths and trying to make sure our weaknesses are taken care of is kind of where the areas I've worked on and grown.
You guys won a championship last year, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Was that your first championship as coach?
It was actually my second. My first year out of college, I was assistant coach. We had won a championship that year. It was my first as a head coach, but as a coach, it's my sixth medal in 7 years. So that was my first as head coach, but I won a championship on a coaching staff back in 2008.
You played your first game on Saturday, correct?
We had our first 3-team scrimmage on Saturday, yes.
Okay.
When it was just us, Redeemer, and Conestoga College.
What did you get from your team on that day? Did you get any feedback or
Yeah, we some areas obviously we were better than at others. We'll be a very good attacking team. We have some work to do on the defensive side of the ball and off the service line, but so those are some of the things that we got out of that. We are trying some new things off the service line and in our offense as well. So we're a little bit uncomfortable right now because we're still trying to get familiar with each other. There's some new players added and some players that had left. So that kind of gave me a chance to see where we stand currently in preparation for our first league match, which is in October.
Who is that against?
Our first league match will be against St. Clair in Windsor.
Is there anything you haven't achieved previously as coach that you're looking forward to achieving maybe this year or in the future?
With the guys returning, so we returned 10 guys from our 16-man roster last year, and we were provincial champion and finished top 5 in Canada. So with the additions we made with the former All-Canadian coming in and a point-leading scorer from another college, we're probably going to have some pretty lofty goals. We haven't done our goal-setting session yet, as we are doing that this weekend when I take the guys away. But my goals are to compete for a national medal. Last year we didn't necessarily do that. We got to the national semis, but I don't think we were as prepared as we could have been.
How do you go about coaching when you're on the court? When you when you're calling a timeout, and what's your strategy? What do you tell your guys?
It's game to game. It just depends what the flow of the game is. You only get 2 timeouts a set, so you have to use them in the right spots. Generally they're just kind of flow breaking timeouts. Is if the flow is not great on our side, it's just kind of a breather. The good thing about coaching college athletes is you don't really need to do much. It's more of management of personality. So it's a chance for us to, they know how to play the game. We tweak a little bit. We don't do a lot.
How do you try to give them enough time to focus on academics while still being a student athlete?
Well, right off the bat, once the team is set, which we just set it last week, we give our whole schedule right to them. So practice times, game times, tournament times, any other times that we are together. And their job now as young adults is to manage their time appropriately. They've made a commitment to, academics, but they've also made a commitment to athletics. So they are in a position now to manage their own time accordingly, and we have them on an academic program that provide, where they need to provide me with teacher signatures that they're at class and what they're learning in class, and it's been very successful for us. So it works. It is time consuming, and they do have to make some sacrifices personally, but the expectation is that they're managing their time accordingly and appropriately.
Well, thank you very much for your time, man.
Thank you.
Sam, it was a tough season for both basketball teams last year.
You're right, Sean. The women's team made it all the way to the provincial finals, but lost in the final game against Algonquin College.
And the men lost in the semifinals to Sheridan. We caught up with both teams to see what their seasons are looking like this year. Last year, the Mohawk men's basketball team had their playoff run ended in a disappointing fashion, losing in the semifinals to the Sheridan Bruins. It was the second year in a row that the Bruins eliminated Mohawk from the provincial championships, losing to them in the finals the year before. Mohawk went into playoffs as the top team in the West Conference, even taking home a win against Sheridan in the regular season. But the men couldn't do it twice in one season, losing by 6 to the Bruins in the tournament.
We never finished where we wanted to last year, but we're hoping for better things this year. Hopefully with the guys we picked up and our teamwork, we'll end up with an Ontario gold medal and a national gold medal because we're hosting it here this year.
The team has made some definite improvements through recruiting and also retained a solid core of returning players. Guard Matt Fennell was the West Division scoring champion, averaging just over 25 points a game, and gained All-Canadian honors. Center Taylor Delhanick was the West Division Defensive Player of the Year while leading the league in blocked shots. And forward Andrew Sicatini, an OCAA first-team All-Star, led the league in rebounds. Coach Brian Yonker believes that they have the right combination of a returning core of veterans and a batch of new recruits that can take them deep into the playoffs.
For starters, we've returned out of our top 8, we've returned everybody but Alex Reese. So having that many returning guys again and as much depth and experience is great. But we've also added some more significant pieces that are all experienced guys as well for the most part.
The new recruits are a solid group of Hamilton natives, including Kojo Afari, who transferred in from the Sault College, and Matt Savell, who just finished up playing 4 years at the University of Toronto. Forward O.J. Watson, a McNabb High School product, returns from Southeastern Community College in Iowa to join the Mountaineers also. The team has bolstered their roster this offseason and are looking to get back to their success of 3 years ago when they took home a national championship. Only time will tell how this squad will perform, but the team definitely has the drive and talent to achieve their goals. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sean Marranca.
The Mohawk Mountaineers women's basketball team is wasting no time preparing for the upcoming season. After falling short in the OCAA championships to the Algonquin Thunder, 76-65, these ladies are determined to prove themselves this year. Coach Duffy explains that last year, other teams were caught off guard by how strong of a team Mohawk had.
I think last year we kind of snuck up on a few teams. They weren't expecting the pressure or the full court offense that we tried to run all game. So I know teams going to be a little bit more prepared, and we're going to have to be a little bit mentally tougher to make adjustments during the game. But overall, so far, we're off to a great start, and I'm really looking forward to the season.
The girls are taking the steps to prepare themselves not only physically, but also mentally. Fifth-year guard Rachel Abella says she is confident the team will do well this season. Her confidence reflects on how well the girls, old and new, are working together. Their determination is what Abella believes will bring them to the OCAAs once again.
All the rookies just come in and just step up and just work as hard as a veteran. So I really like that, and I like how we run the floor, and then we are always there for each other, and we just got to stay hungry. We're not satisfied as coming in second, because if you're not first, you're last, basically.
Rookie Shannon O'Neill is excited to be playing for the Mountaineers this season.
I love it. I love the coaching staff. I love the girls on the team. It was good getting to know all the girls on the team and everything. They're a great group of girls, and just the practice and everything are I enjoy them. They're everything I like to do and everything. So I think we're going to be hard to beat because we're all aggressive and hardworking. So.
O'Neill is a Hamilton native. Not only did she attend St. Mary's and Highland Secondary School, but she also played for the Hamilton Transway Rep basketball team. The Mountaineers' home opener will take place in the D-Bark on Tuesday, October 7th at 6 p.m. against Centennial. For Ignite Sports, I'm Carlyn McGill.
It's been a rough start for varsity soccer, as both teams are still struggling for wins.
With such a short season, it's crucial that the teams get wins under their belt quickly. We caught up with both squads to see what's in store for them for the rest of the season. Soccer season is well underway in the OCAA, so it comes as no surprise to find the Mohawk varsity squads practicing on the Hillfield Strathallan pitches. Ignite News caught up with both teams this week to take a look at how their seasons are progressing and what we can expect from them for the remainder of their seasons. The men's varsity squad got off to a shaky start this season, taking a 9-1 thumping at the hands of Sheridan in their season opener. It was a tough way to open up their season, but the team bounced back in the next game to gain their first point in a 3-3 draw against St. Clair. Assistant coach Michael Geitzes says coming together as a team is difficult in the OCAA as players graduate quickly, creating a revolving door for new players to come in and learn the system.
Unfortunately, we haven't won yet. It's a short season, so we're sort of still in the building process. That's one of the challenges we have to deal with collegiate soccer. But I think we've got the team to reach our goals, which is to make the playoffs. So we're just looking forward.
The Mountaineers will rely on the veteran leadership of all-star forward Patrick Corbu and midfielders Chris Taylor and Mark Sanizeros to help bring this team together quickly. Taylor believes they have a strong squad that can contend, but knows they still have work to do to compete with the top teams.
Yeah, it's not the physical game. We got, like I said, individually great players, but mentally we definitely got to step it up and not take stupid fouls, things like that. And mentally, if we get stronger, I think our team will get stronger and it'll be a good season.
The men head up to Ancaster September 20th to take on the Redeemer Royals. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. The women Mountaineers have gotten off to a better start, notching their first win over the weekend against Lambton 2-1. Rookies Jessica Miner and Michelle DiDonizio both netted goals in the win, and so far their coach has been pleased with what he's seen.
We've been playing really good for with the new players and veterans together, and so a couple of games that probably we shouldn't have lost, but we were short. The last tournament we went away, we were a little bit short on the bench, so that always creates problems for any team, not just for Mohawks.
The team currently owns a record of 1 win and 2 losses in league play, with defeats from Sheridan and St. Clair. It was a tough loss against Sheridan, conceding the game-winning goal in the final 5 minutes of play. But team captain Sherry Levitt knows there are a lot of positives to take away from their game so far, and believe they are in a good spot to do well this season.
The first win is always the hardest one to get, especially when you start off with 2 tough losses like we did, where we were so close to winning them and then they just slipped away from us. But it's a short season, only 8 games, so getting that first win is really important early in the season, and we did that, so now we just have to keep the momentum going.
The girls head to Redeemer on Saturday to take on their crosstown rivals. Game time is 1 p.m. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Sean Marranca.
Sean, it's been a rough couple of years for the men's rugby team as they've struggled to make it into the playoffs for the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's definitely a rebuilding year for the team, Sam. We caught up with Coach Bill Stewart to see what the team's prospects are like for the future.
Men's varsity rugby season is well underway as they faced off against Sheridan College in their second game of the season. This year, the men are looking to redeem themselves after landing out of a medal spot for the past 3 seasons. Mohawk's season started out rough when they lost 25-3 against top-seeded Conestoga. They were able to turn it around in their second game, taking a big win over Sheridan. Mohawk's head coach, Bill Stewart, has an extensive background with the sport of rugby. Stewart played from 1970 to 1990 with the Hamilton Hornets, where he remains a lifetime member of the team. He has been with Mohawks since 2010, but it wasn't until 2012 when he was announced as head coach. This year, Stewart says the team has the experience they need to have a successful season.
Compared to the other years, we seem to have a better mix of players and more experience, and we're coming out better. And so I'm hoping for a couple more wins. Yeah, that'd be nice. Make the playoffs. That's what I'm hoping.
Who is a player on Mohawk to look out for and why?
Probably Billy Gemmel, our fullback, who's very quick and can move into the thing. Scored 3 tries today. Spencer Logan in the backs, he scored 3 tries. Very quick, good balance the whole bit. Our captain, who's Mike Pirelli, who scored. He didn't score, but is helping set up our play. He's running the plays, I think. So that's good. And Duncan Earl, who played a great game out there, so there's a lot.
What is the key to your success this season?
Just more, not too much, just more talent. We've got more talent. We had more guys come out. We had 45 players try out. whereas other years we've had 25 players try out. So we had to make cuts and things, and the guys are just a little bit better in skills.
What are you looking on to improve this season compared to the last?
Last couple of years we've been defeated pretty big most of the time. So this year we're just trying to stay in the games and keep close and try to win them. So hopefully that happens and improve our skills.
How does this year team differ from the rugby teams of the past?
My 2 years that I've been here, it's just more. There's more players and they're more talented, and so we can do more things. We can practice better, and we can run more plays. And smarter. I guess not smarter, but rugby smarter.
So your impressions of this game then?
I don't think Sheridan was too strong. They're weak. They're rebuilding, like we've been the last couple of years, and so we were able to, big score and score some plays, but score some tries. But I think we're going to have problems. Some of the other teams coming up, especially Humber.
Is this game a good sign of what the rest of the season has to come?
Oh, hopefully, yep. We've got some confidence. Yeah.
The team will travel to Georgian on Sunday with the hopes of continuing their winning streak. For Ignite Sports, I'm Sam McFadden.